Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide, tell we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide, tell we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind, right we don't hide, tell we inside, 'cause the ladies' room go set it right. Welcome, welcome to the ladies' room, where real men talk and truth go boom. Good morning, good morning. If your man acting up or your woman losing she mind.
Good morning again, everybody. Welcome back to the ladies' room for today, Thursday, January 29th. And of course, it is the final Thursday in the month of January. Yep, January definitely moved. That's how we like it, right? Making way for February. And of course, you know, I start the month on the 1st, be my birthday. And might I add, I have not seen Jackie's gift as yet. So before the end of the day, let's make sure that is sorted out. I say no more, all right? So you guys have between today and tomorrow to organize yourselves, because the celebration will definitely be on Sunday as we start off another new month. And of course, you know that I started. Shout out to all the Aquarians in the building, by the way, and welcome back to the room. For those of you viewing on YouTube and Facebook, thank you so very much for powering up again. And for those of you listening on radio 95.1, 95.3, or via the Power app, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much as well to our wonderful partners for making the show possible. And we're talking St. Augustine Medical Services, Land Store, Western Union, Beacon Insurance. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being part of the room once again. And this morning, we are officially kicking off, and this is the very first one, a series of programs, and we are highlighting women in power. All right. So every Thursday we will have a different female, different woman, different lady, whatever walk of life, whatever business, whatever field they're employed in, or whether they're business owners themselves. But women, we will be highlighting them every Thursday. And I am super happy to have the CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority to kick off the very first episode. So again, you guys have been saying we need to do more in terms of, our interviews. We talk a lot about relationships. We talk about social issues. We dabble in politics. But I think there's so much happening with women on this rock, all right, that we needed to create the space. It is the ladies' room after all, but we discuss every and anything. But I think we needed to create this space solely for that purpose. So I hope you guys, the same energy we get Monday to Wednesday discussing man and woman's business and relationships, we are going to get it on Thursdays as well, because I believe it's super, super important. And to those of you already on the live, just do me a quick favor and hit the share button so other folks will get the opportunity to be part of the program this morning. I will not be able to do a lengthy roll call because, like I said, I have guests, and with the time being so short, before you know it, 45 minutes is gone. I wanna spend most of it getting to know our new CEO and understanding, who she is, what she's about, and of course, why we need to big up our women some more. So at the end of it, I hope you will find something to take away. You will find some sort of inspiration, some sort of motivation, because I believe, especially in the times we live in, any source that we can pull it from, we need to do that. All right. So those of you already here, again, as I said, thank you so much, Shante. Thank you so very much for sharing and tagging the folks on a daily basis. Kindly help me in doing that today, because we're about to have a super important conversation. All right, so welcome back again, everyone. And today we're joined by a woman who continues to make waves both locally and internationally in the world of tourism and leadership. And of course, not so long ago, she stepped into the role of the Chief Executive Officer of the Grenada Tourism Authority, bringing with her years of experience, vision, and of course, passion for showcasing our beautiful island to the world. And if that wasn't impressive enough, she was also recently named to her network's 2025 Women of the Year list, joining an international group of women being recognized for their leadership, influence, and impact across industries. So it is truly an honor to have with us today Ms. Stacey Liburd, CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority. Welcome to the Ladies' Room and to the very first episode of this new edition. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Thank you so much for
Hold on,
reaching
you're a
out.
bit low. Let me make sure you try again.
Sure. Good
All right.
morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for reaching out and extending the invitation. I am truly honored. Thank you.
It is definitely a pleasure to have you, like I said. So it's not going to be the strict interview.
No, let's
I
have
call
fun.
it
Let's have fun.
conversations.
Yeah, let's
It's
have
not
fun.
an interview.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation, and the basis is to get to know you a bit more, because like I said, you stepped into this space and not many people are familiar with you and follow your story,
Yeah.
etc. And then we're gonna dabble a bit in tourism and where we are, and the new vision and stuff like that for Grenada. So we just gonna spend the next couple of minutes getting to know you. Nothing too personal, but getting to getting to know who you are. And for those just getting to know you, who is Stacey Liburd beyond the CEO title?
Wow. Beyond the title, I am passionate. I am driven. I am very much a people person. So it wasn't a surprise when I embarked on this career path, because you meet so many people across so many walks of life, and I love learning about cultures. So, that's really at the heart who I am. I'm grounded in my family, my friends. I have a great network of friends who continue to keep me up in prayer. They continue to, inspire me by their journey as well. So I surround myself with, women who are very impactful, women who are just about their business. So, I'm very much wanting to say congratulations on this new series about empowering women because I think that is very much, important. So, that's really in a nutshell who I am. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I am someone's wife.
I like that. Someone's wife.
Yeah, someone's wife. And in this job that has really it takes up a great deal of my time, and I love it. Passionate about it.
How do you describe yourself in 3 words?
Ooh, 3 words. As I mentioned, driven, people-centered, and a woman of faith, for sure. Yeah.
That's super important.
Very much so.
Especially faith.
Yes.
Faith.
Yes.
So, talk to us a little bit more about your upbringing, though. What was that like?
Strict. I grew up I was born in Jamaica, and I lived there until I was 13 when I moved to the States. So really and truly, I consider the States home because that's where I, received all my formal education, and I think where I really developed into the person that I am today. And, I had great examples of what hard work should look like. So both my parents worked 2 jobs. And I remembered when my dad left Jamaica to work on a farm to support his family. And we would see him once a year for 5 years, and I remember just my mom, how, just dedicated. I saw what dedication looked like in a marriage. I saw what sacrifice looked like in a marriage. And, so they're still together almost 50 years.
Wow.
And so, I aspire for that. And, but they were very strict, and, education was something that was, deeply ingrained. Must get a degree, must get an education. What you do after that is, you're an adult. It's, it's on you. But I had a mom who was very much disciplinarian. And then my dad allowed her to be that because he was not necessarily always at home. He was more the provider in that, relationship. So, the upbringing was very strict, but I'm grateful for it because that's the foundation that I have today for how I operate in an ethical or moral space, if you will.
And I think we all share similar stories, especially our color when it comes to parents, both
Yes.
parents in a home, and especially your dads, and how strict they can be and ensure that, you're total light in a lot of things. And I think it helped us prepare us to be more
Absolutely.
responsible adults, etc. And back then you didn't see it. It's like, cut me some slack.
Exactly.
Give me a break.
Correct.
Let me
Correct.
do my thing,
Yeah.
But I'm sure as grown-ups now, we all look back and be like, yeah, thanks.
No,
Thanks for that.
I'm grateful for it, for sure, because I remember when I started college and I said, I'm doing business administration. Just wanted to do something easy. And I think I completed my first year and I said, I'm going to switch to law. And my father said, oh, really? I paid for a year of college and now you decide to switch. And he said, absolutely not. He said, you work and put yourself through school. And at the time, I remember feeling, why aren't you supporting me in, my decision? But today when I look at my degree and I look at my work, I think it's because he said, no, you do it. You fund it because you'll have a greater appreciation and respect for your money that you earn and how you spend it, right? So I think he did me a huge favor. I always thank my dad for that.
Now, you said that, this is, a career that, you really put a lot into. It takes up a lot of your personal time. But when you're not CEOing, when you're not when you're not working, what do you do? What do you do for fun, to relax, etc.?
So I love the beach, though I don't swim. I can't swim. But I love being around water. So I like being on a boat. I like being on a beach. I love, a day at the spa. I love being around, my friends and my family. So that looks like lunch, brunch, dinner. And I love wine and champagne. That's my thing. So, when I lived in the States, on the weekends, I would go to various vineyards just to be able to taste and learn more about wine. So, that's how I love to spend my time, love to read. And that's difficult with the job because you read a lot of industry news and papers and policies and things of that nature. So the ability to read something nonfiction or, just to be able to clear your mind. So now my sister encouraged me a year ago to do Audible. So now my reading is through Audible, but it allows me to listen better. So
Gives
yeah.
you get greater appreciation.
Absolutely.
So for the short period you've been here, though, what stands out most about Grenada for you? What do you love so
People.
far?
And I know it sounds cliche, but really and truly, it's the people, the kindness that has been extended. I think a lot of people have been surprised at how quickly I have sort of, adopted or immersed myself in the culture. But I think the people make it easy because they have been so welcoming, so supportive, really kind. I remember when the announcement was made, my Facebook inbox just blew up, and it was just people reaching out to congratulate and say, "We're glad you're here." And I said to someone, "What do you mean you're glad I'm here? Like, what do you really know about me?" They were like, "We did our research."
Of course.
I was blown away, and offering, this is the business I'm in. I want you to experience, right? And I still have to get down to the list of, people I promised that I would, patronize their business or, the experience that they've extended to me. Because I did hit the ground running when I came in. But it really is, the people are genuinely warm, genuinely just welcoming. And my team also, plays a huge role in how I have settled into the island and the culture, for sure.
So, people, we're at the top of the list, all right? So,
You guys are, for sure.
now, like you said, when you got the news, why did this, how did this come across your radar? Like, you know what, I want to be the CEO of. Explain to us how that came about and what made you decide, hey, this is something I probably need to try.
So I was appointed a few years ago in Anguilla as the director of tourism, and served that administration at the time. And the unfortunate thing about my position is that the act that guides the organization gives the Minister of Tourism to appoint, right? And so when the administration changed in Anguilla, then my role, right, was null and void, if you will. And so I was thinking about what next to do, but I learned that this position was going to be made available early in the year. But again, I was sort of waiting to see what's going to happen. And I just knew that my purpose wasn't fulfilled. At least that's how I felt, and I prayed about it. And so, I had a discussion with my husband and say, I want to, this role is available, and I want to apply. And what are your thoughts? How would you feel? Because now I'm not going to be we're not going to be living in the same, place. And he said, listen, I'll support whatever decision you make. I think that I would rather you be fulfilled in your career because I know that is going to benefit our marriage.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
Who wouldn't?
I love that. And so I threw caution to the wind and I applied for the position and, emerged successful out of 100 and I think it was 10 applicants.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. And it was a rigorous recruitment process. I think I went through 4 rounds of interview.
So it wasn't just like a walk in the park like people think, oh, you apply, and that's it.
No. There's a short listing and, you have your first interview with an interview panel. There was a panel. And the second was I remember I was in Grand Cayman when I did the interview for speaking engagements. And then before I left, they told me that I was shortlisted for the second round. And and this is what they wanted me to do. They gave me a scenario and I needed to come up with a plan based on that and present it. And I had to do it on the flight because the turnaround was rather quick. But I think also that they were testing how you respond to pressure.
Under pressure.
Yeah.
Because in this industry, you're always
It's
under
really,
pressure.
Absolutely. And what I recognized is the scenario they gave me was the relaunch of the Delta flight. And I just thought that it was something that was made up. And then I think it was that Friday, I saw, the announcement was made. And I was like, oh my God, it is a real scenario. So I think it made it easier because now we are actually doing things based on the plan that I presented to the committee at the time. And then there was a psychometric, question thing that I had to do. And I was like, listen, if you guys are basing your decision on this test, good luck. And because I thought that I did poorly. And then my fourth was coming on the island to actually meet in person to see if there was, the synergy. At least that was what I thought. But it was another intense interview now sitting in front of the panel. So it was a month or so, a month and a half. It was a very intense process.
Well, I'm happy that you went through the process, because a lot of people sometimes think, okay, send the application. Oh, you had one interview.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the job, Make sure that, because this is a serious and very, very
really
important
is.
role,
It is.
You're basically steering your image of the entire island, all 100 and something plus of us.
Correct.
You're the image, and that is super, super important. But, like I said, we are, we designed this program in mind as a means to inspire other young women. And it's not always roses and sunshine and, walk on the beach or, like you said, drinking wine and, just enjoying life. It takes a while to get to that stage. And there's a lot of things you have to do to get to that place. Now, people don't think that sacrifices are part of the journey. Like you literally have to make them.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
from your own personal experience,
Yeah.
what are some of the sacrifices did you have to make to get where you are today? Because we need people, especially women, young women listening, to understand it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. And in order to be successful, you have to put in the work.
Correct. So you sacrifice a lot of time with your family. It's a lot of early mornings and late nights. So I'll give you a perfect example. We were in office at around 7:30 one morning, and I didn't leave the office until 11:36 that night. And then I had to turn around and come back into the office. Not into the office. I had to go for a breakfast meeting at 7:30 a.m. And then a full day of schedule. So it is time. You don't have your weekends. Most weekends I'm working in the office. Don't like to work from home. It's distracting, I feel. I need the structure of an office. And I tell my team, my schedule is not your schedule. So you shouldn't feel like, oh, the CEO is working. And so if I'm not working those hours, it means that I'm not working. It's how I work, because during the day, my time is really for the team and for my staff. And so I find that my real work really begins when they leave. And now I recognize, because of the intensity of the role and the job and what we do, the team is now also staying late as well. So, we give up, we sacrifice time with family, we sacrifice a personal life, really and truly. A lot of single ladies at the office. And, it's when do you get time to meet someone? Because if you're out, it really is for a work event. And sometimes when you travel, it's not for, personal. It's for, it's for work. And that's another thing. People think that when you travel, that is the perk, if you will, of the job. And so I know that in this role, that is something that is criticized. Often, this person is always traveling. But I want to emphasize that you don't achieve great things sitting behind a desk. You have to be in the rooms where decisions are being made and where collaborative partnerships are being formed. And it takes us showing up in order to do that. There are a lot of times where you fly, on, let's say, on a Wednesday, and a Wednesday night you have an event. And so you hit the ground running. And the minute the conference ends, you're coming back home. So there is no real free time, if you will, right? So those are some of you have to be on the road and you're sick, and you still have to show up. Recently, we were in Cannes for the ILTM Cannes, ILTM Cannes, I'm sorry, and I got sick. And Tanya, my CMO, had to do one day of an intense show where you have 20 appointments and it's like speed dating with an hour for lunch. So you're talking all day. And she didn't have me to relieve her because I fell ill, right? So, those are some of the things that we sort of go through, under our health, sort of takes a hit as well, because I recall traveling once, someone is putting their bag up, I think it's their backpack, and their metal water bottle hits me on, it fell out and hit me on the head, and I suffered a concussion, and I didn't know. I was sleeping for a day and a half and didn't know, because I was traveling by myself for work. I now have a bum shoulder that at some point I'll need to have surgery, and I think it's from lifting heavy bags and carrying, because we're carrying collateral, and so it is a lot. It takes a toll, and if you don't have a strong support system, be it your family, your spouse, friends, it could be difficult. It could be really difficult. So those are some of the sacrifices you make.
So how do you stay focused when things get tough, though?
I lean into why I do the job, because it does get tough, right? And so it always has to be the passion. And I think also my heavy faith. I believe in God. I believe that I would not be here if this was not the plan that He has for me. So I lean into that. It's not about me, it isn't. I don't lead from that place. It is because I believe that God has, a purpose for my life. And so when it gets tough, I ask Him to give me the things that I need to continue the work, so that in it all, He's the one that gets glorified. So I take ego out of it. I remember when I sat down with my team and we did our one-on-ones and just trying to get to know everyone when I came in, and they asked me, for everyone that came in, asked me this question. I love you guys so much. And they said, what do you prefer to be called? And I'm like, I'm not formal.
Mrs.
Yeah, I'm not formal, so please don't call me Mrs. Liburd. It feels old and I traditional. I don't. Stacey is fine. Because again, I recognize that I don't lead with the CEO title. I don't think I need to.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But as a woman, of power, in power, leading, did you ever feel like you had to work twice as hard to be taken seriously? I mean,
Absolutely.
especially in male-dominated spaces or
Absolutely.
challenging environments?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because, I think I'm going to say something probably unpopular. And I'm using a friend of mine, her words. It's they look at you, the physical, right? And so they look the eyes. And so it's never from a place of, okay, this is my counterpart. You don't really see you, especially in this travel industry where most of the ministers are men. And I think a healthy number are directors or CEOs. And so, they look at you as, especially I think traditionally, where women are thought your place is at home and men are the provider. So now I think things have changed. Roles have changed, right? And we're seeing where a lot more women are the breadwinners. A lot more women are making more than men. And so there's the struggle with that as well. So now to show up in the same space and have the same opportunity, but unfortunately, I know for instance, if I'm having certain conversations that I know I want to move the needle and this partnership is able to do that, I don't get the response if it was a male, my male counterpart, right? So it's very difficult. And that's why I show up the way that I do, because I deserve a seat at the table. I worked hard to ensure that is the case. I make sure I'm going in researched as well, because you have to show up with the information so that you're taken seriously. And I show up dressed, because a lot of people minimize appearance, but
It's
it's important,
It's
right?
important.
I'm representing the Tri-Island State. I can't show up just any old way. If I'm selling luxury, you bet you I'm gonna show up looking like that. Because if you're going to a Bentley dealership,
Yeah.
right,
If
you want
walk in with a raggedy pair, they will. Even though
Exactly.
you have the money, they
Correct.
won't take you serious at first
correct.
glance.
Or even you looking at the salesperson, you're selling me a luxurious product, but you don't look like what you're selling, right? So I want to look like what I'm selling, but I'm also representing the people. So I need to ensure that when I show up, then I'm taken seriously because I'm presenting myself in that way.
Makes a lot of sense. Now, being named to her network's 2025 Women of the Year
honor,
list
yeah.
is huge.
Yeah.
What went through your mind when you found out, and how big is this?
I was excited. I think I was most excited at people's reaction to that. I guess people in my network and people, my colleagues, my regional partners, were genuinely excited because we all know what it takes in this role, right? So to be recognized, because I think a lot of times we work behind the scenes and other people get the credit, which I'm always fine with. I'm not here for that. As long as the destination reaps the benefit, I don't care who takes credit for that, right? But to be recognized, and also by women and powerful women, and when you look at some of the list of women that were also recognized, I took a moment and I sat back and I thought, thank you, God, because sometimes I feel like this is a thankless job. So I felt truly honored, but I didn't sit there for too long because they say, today's wins don't count tomorrow. And I always say this to my team, and so I apply it to myself. Take your moment, pat yourself on the back, but we're not moving with that ego into the next day, right?
Things to do.
We have things to do. So we have to keep moving because now the bar is set high, right? So then we have to ensure that now that I live up to that recognition, right?
That makes a lot of sense. How do you see, let me see the time. Yeah, let's go a little bit into the tourism part of it.
Let's do it.
How do you see Grenada competing in the global tourism stage?
I love that question so much. We have so much potential as a Tri-Island state. And I think that, for instance, our product, there are so many opportunities for us to expand on that. And I'll use an example, Granny Tang, for instance. Right now, you go to Granny Tang and you're looking at a lake. You play with the monkeys. But do visitors know that you can hike? Would it be great for us to have even just washroom facilities, a little snacket? I understand that also preservation comes into play. So we want to be careful how we develop that product, right? Because we don't want to damage anything. During the Dive and Conservation Fest last October, I learned that we have something called the Grenada frog that is indigenous to
Grenada.
us, to Grenada. And we went to Granny Tang at night to seek them out. It was a fantastic
I
experience.
don't envy you on that experience.
No, I'm telling you, I thought about it when I was first
Like,
invited. I was like,
frog,
yeah, no. But it was great because also Granny
It's not
Tang
great.
has...
What's great is what we do as soon as we see them, you have salt, you throw it on them.
No, they're not huge like that. They're very, very, very small.
Little, small,
They're
huge.
very tiny.
Salt is thrown on them the minute you see one. I'm telling you.
Well, we don't want to do that because they serve a purpose in our ecosystem.
So you see, education is important.
Exactly, because they keep your mosquitoes at bay. I mean, think about if you didn't have these things, if the island was completely infested with mosquitoes, right? So I think it's important to know that they serve a purpose, and we can't throw salt on them. But there was a completely different feel to Granny Tang at night and experiencing that. That is something that we should add to our product because we know people travel for different reasons, right? People travel around festivals. They want to be culturally immersed. They want great food. They want to leave the island knowing more and feeling like they were able to, connect. And so I think there's a story to be told. So that is how I would like us to develop the brand that much more. we are known for spice mass. We're known for jab. We're known for oil down. But that's not the subtotal of who we are as a tri-island state. And in my conversations with people, you know, in market, I recognize that a lot of people don't know that we are a tri-island state. You just think Grenada. So they don't know we have 2 other islands. And so, you know, we want to change the viewpoints of that, because also, though we make up one state, the identity of the 3 islands are very much different, but complementary. The reason why someone may stay in Grenada is completely different to why they would stay in Petit Martinique. So we were very intentional with our strategy to say that these are the islands, and I said to my team, we will not say Grenada anymore. You'll either say tri-island state, you'll say our destinations, or you say Grenada, you know, Petit Martinique, right? Just because, again, it's education. You want to educate the masses that they do have options. And then when you think about the reason why travelers are traveling today, they want something that's off the beaten path. That works to our advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, and just was it last week or the week before the lobster and lambi fest in Carriacou, and I'm sitting here looking at all the pictures and reading. I'm like, why didn't I go to this?
Exactly.
Because him thinking it's the first time, so it's probably gonna be, you know, and then we see how it goes next year. And I'm sitting there looking at all these people and all this food, and it's like so many rave reviews coming out of that initiative. There are people already saying they can't wait for next year, you know, and that too can be added to the calendar of things to do and stuff like that. So that leads to the question of, how important is sustainability and community involvement in your plans and Grenada?
Very much so. And so that's why we took the approach to share our global strategy with stakeholders and with the community. So when we drafted and finalized the strategy, we had a Zoom presentation to our stakeholders, because we recognized that what we didn't want was for them to know what our plans are only when we show up to ask for partnership or collaboration or ask for something, right? And then also we recognize that if you are intimately knowledgeable about the direction that the GTA is taking in marketing the destination, then a stakeholder can take a look at, you know, some of our pillar focuses and say, we're in alignment here. And if these are initiatives that you will be investing in, then we can share in that investment, because if we show up together, we can have a larger presence, right? Also, I did hear in my meet and greet when I went to Carriacou, the concern of we don't see ourselves in the marketing. And so it was important for us to go to Carriacou, and we did go there and present the strategy to stakeholders, right? So again, they can take a look, but also the intention was to audit your products and services and see what opportunities there are. So for instance, one of the pillars that we're going to sort of up the ante is luxury. Well, let's just put, like, I know a lot of people sort of balk at that term. So I'll say targeting high net worth individuals. And so if you're a ground transportation provider and you understand what that traveler is looking for, then you can audit your fleet of vehicles to see if that is in alignment. And then if the GTA is, if you're saying, okay, the GTA is making this investment and this is going to be the focus, then perhaps I should also make an investment to capitalize on that, right? So that's why the video series we put out sharing what we will be doing for 2026 and beyond. I mean, we can't stop people from calling or emailing and saying, I am doing this. What do you guys think based on the strategy? Or, you know, I want to partner. How can we partner? I want to attend this with you guys, right? I saw that you guys attended, right? XYZ. Also, we didn't realize this would happen, but with the videos, our regional partners also saw it. And what I was hearing was it's a great idea. I think this is something we may look into doing. And now coming out of that also, we are going to be entering into an MOU with 3 other destinations, because also multi-destination travel is something that we're promoting. So to be able to say, all right, we have I'm going to give an example, Barbados or St. Vincent, Dominica, St. Lucia, entering into an MOU, then we can go together and promote us as a hub, if you will, for yachting, for festivals and carnivals, and they can come between our islands to promote their various events. So that is something that we're expanding on. There's another area that I'm very, very passionate about, and that is domestic tourism. And we have a marketing exec specifically for that area because we like nice things too. We travel too, and we want to do staycations. And so instead of you saying, okay, my husband and I were celebrating our 5th anniversary, wedding anniversary, I think we should go to Miami. Why not say, oh, you know what? I heard Silver Sands is doing, this promotions, and now we can keep the money in Grenada, but it also exposes our locals so they can serve as ambassadors. So when someone has asked you, what are your thoughts about this? Have you been here? They can say yes.
Yes, you had that
Yes,
experience.
exactly.
Shay on the live is saying, I will also want to know, where do you see Carriacou on the global market? Carriacou needs that extra push.
Yes.
For example, we can get more people to come to the island, but we need more rooms in Carriacou.
Yes.
And also can Carriacou accommodate small cruise ships? And he says we need more luxury to come to islands like St. Bart's, etc.
Of course. So I'm glad. Great question. Great comments. Thank you for the feedback. So I describe Carriacou as this, in terms of my vision, somewhere between St. Bart's and Bocas del Toro. Bocas del Toro is a small island off Panama that caters to the surfing, if you will, community. So it is small, like Carriacou, very much into that water culture, that nautical culture. And then St. Bart's is, of course, the highest. When you think about luxury, the Caribbean, everyone will say St. Bart's, right? I don't know that is where we want to go, because what I don't want us to do is lose the identity of the island and the people, right? So yes, room inventory is indeed a challenge. But here's the thing, it's also an opportunity for us to have conversations with investors to say, we have this great island and it's a great opportunity, right? I know True Blue Bay is going to be building a 40-room, eco accommodations there. I'm not sure when that's going to come on stream, but I've seen the plans for that. Beautiful. It's amazing. So that will add 40 rooms to the stock. But also, there are villas. We don't want anything big in terms of, a hotel chain. Now, this is my opinion, right? So this is not representative of, this is my opinion. I think what would do well are villas, bed and breakfast. So think about the mermaid model, right? In terms of that sort of boutique property that will do well there. And also, you mentioned nautical. So yes, the yachting is a huge opportunity for Carriacou and Petit Martinique because you're in the Grenadines and you can sail between, St. Vincent's, right? Yes. And I think that is why Bahamas does so well, because you have all the small islands. So if there is a yacht that is in the destination or in the region for, let's say, 3 weeks, they're not docked one place for 3 weeks. So the appeal, exactly, the appeal is to go between. And so right now we're looking at, how do we make the clearance of those yachts a little bit more seamless? That is our challenge. Okay. Yeah, that's our challenge right now. Okay. So we're working on it.
We're working.
But
overall, because we almost time for us to wrap up.
Sure.
What message do you want visitors to take away after experiencing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique?
That we're more than the spice of the Caribbean. I think that is just part of who we are. We are a culture steeped in the warmth of the people. And I know that if you polled, the region, everyone will say it's the warmth of our people. But truly, I've traveled through the region, and I genuinely think that it's the warmth of our people is why people come back to the destination. So you want to sell that. You want to sell, the culture and the heritage, because I think it's rich. There's so much that we can teach and share. And we did that during Spice Mass when we hosted the press trip. And the influencers and journalists said their best day was the day they learned about jab and they were able to do the
Yeah.
oil
Yeah.
and saw the making of the oil down. And
Jesse would they had too much fun, I swear.
you saw that, right?
They had way too much
That's
fun.
something that they still
Yeah.
talk about. So I don't want us to dilute our culture and who we are, because really and truly it's what sets us apart. It's our unique selling
Because
point.
the excitement on their faces, they were like so. And it's something like, I guess, because we've been doing it for so long, we take it for granted. Like,
Yeah.
let's learn some more. We have
Exactly,
a
yeah,
little jab.
yeah.
But to them, that experience was so surreal. It was like, wow, what is this?
Yes,
You know?
yeah.
And if they can feel that, I'm sure there are thousands more other people who want to
Absolutely.
experience that based on what they shared.
Absolutely. And what I'm happy to see is a lot of the properties, they're implementing our local cuisine in their menu. So I was at Six Senses on Saturday, and every Saturday they have oil down as their special, and it was good. Because I said to
important.
I said you better have a local chef back there cooking the national dish, please.
Exactly. We don't want no peas in there.
No, we don't want. No. This is not something that you try to. No.
Don't fancy it up.
No, please. It has to be authentic. And it was really good. And I applaud Six Senses for adding, that local flair to their
Kudos to
menu.
them for
Yes, love that.
Gary Blair, good morning. Gary says Stacey's a gem. Only
thank
tourism CEO who visited PD Martinique and all small businesses. She and her 10-member team actually had grilled lobster lunch at Gary's.
We did.
She's doing an amazing job. Thank you, miss.
Thank you, Gary. We did. We had a blast.
Gary's
in
like
PM.
the ambassador, the mayor of PD Martinique.
Yes,
Anything
it was
you want,
great.
check Gary.
And we had great lobster there, and we enjoyed our time. Though short, we had a fantastic day there.
Yeah, so definitely looking forward to attending the Lambie and Lobster and Lambie Festival in Carriacou. So hope to see more. Someone has also mentioned about Billfish tournament in Carriacou as well.
Yeah,
So
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because this year we're the for the first time we're title sponsors, and I mentioned to the organizers that I want to sign something that says we're at least a title sponsor for the next 5 years. So with that, it gives us a little bit of a say in the direction. So this may be something we can have a conversation around. Great
Totally.
idea. Thank you.
Totally. Yes, when we share, we also get ideas, So
Absolutely.
it's important that we have these conversations.
Yeah.
Well, we're at the end of the program. Any final word before we go? I wish we had more time, but you're definitely coming back.
I am
so,
coming
yeah.
back. So thank you again for reaching out. I really do appreciate the invitation. I'm sorry that it's taken me this long to be on the
Exactly.
show, but
You're here.
I'm here, and I will, as long as I'm on the island and not, inundated with other stuff. But I will make the time. I know we had to cancel last week. I'm sorry for fitting me in this week. But the final word is, we want everyone's support, really and truly. I know that this sounds, again, cliche, that tourism is everyone's business, but it is our main economic driver, and we can only do it together, right? While I am at the helm, I do need the community support and buy-in. So I am encouraging everyone, if you have an idea, you have a concern, please don't go on, Facebook and and blast the GTA. We'll pick up the phone, give us a call, or send us an email or a message. Really and truly, I am very responsive, and so is the team. And you can reach out to me anytime. Share those with us, because really and truly, it is, it's the way that we learn. We'll be able to collaborate. So really, that is, I want to see more buy-in and community involvement, right? In a way that, because when I drive through the island, I see the patriotism, I see the pride and the love and the culture, right? So
Yes.
I want to see that.
Wait for the day, February 6th and 7th. You have not experienced independence, right?
Yes. No, not yet.
So next week, you'll definitely see that everywhere.
I love that.
sense of patriotism and national colors and national way everywhere. So
Yeah.
be prepared to
So
see a
let's-
whole lot of colors.
Let's lead with that in communicating and dealing with each other.
Totally agree.
Yes.
Stacey, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for sharing your journey, your vision, and of course your time with us today. It's
Anytime.
really inspiring to hear about the work you're doing and the exciting direction you're leading Grenada's tourism in.
Thank you so
Super
much.
excited about it. And once again, want to congratulate you on being named to Her Network's 2025 Women of the Year list. Wonderful, wonderful indeed. And just want to wish you continued success in your role as CEO, and hopefully make sure you're back again. A friend of power indeed. We love that for you. So
Thank you so much.
Welcome anytime. Reach out anytime. We're
Thank
more
you.
than happy to accommodate you.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. That, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our program today. And of course, it's also the final one for the week. That means we'll be back next week with some more, of course, conversations. And remember, every Thursday you can look forward to program like this. So I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much, St. Augustine Medical Services, Land Store, Western Union, and Beacon Insurance for making the room possible once again. Ronnie says Grenada is vibes. My folks just went down to a funeral, sad time, but they came back saying what a wonderful time it was. Imagine, right? I know it's always a good vibe here. So thanks so much, everyone, for staying with us. Thank you for your comments in the room. And thanks for the early birthday greetings. So that means on Monday, we'll definitely have a recap. Alrighty, have a great Thursday, everybody. And thank you so much for powering up. I'll see you guys next week, same time, same place.
Ladies' Room comes to you.